Hello racing fans, welcome to the Mood Springs at Sputter Stop 350, which they will have an excellent test of speed. Today's pole setter, Todd Marcus. He and his outside Murray Clutchburn both had a pretty good season against the uprising next generation. Behind them is Carbon Cyber's Jim Wevick and Combustor's Chris Roman. Row 3 we have Bubble Wheelhouse and Ed Trunken. Both races have a pretty good season this year, although have both failed to score. In row 4 we have Cam Spinner and Will West. Row 5 we have Conrad Camber and Dan Garcia. Row 6 we have Harvey Rodcap and M. Fast Fong. Row 7 we have Aaron Clocker and Jade McPilla. Row 8 we have Herb Kerbler and Cruz Ramirez, two winners of this season. Row 9 we have Steve Slicker Page and Jackson Storm, one of the first next gens on the field. Behind them we have Danny Service and Ricky Gunzit. Then we have Tim Trellis and H.J. Hollis. Next up we have RPM's Bruce Miller and Vital's newest racer, Chase Race-A-Lot. Then we have Flipped Over and Buck Burnley. We have two veteran racers right here, Brian Spark and Lane Locke. Then we have Reb Mika and Ralph Carlo, Ernie Gearson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And then finally we have Matt Guycar and Dino Javsky. Drivers, start your engines! And here we have the racers exiting pit road. Here we have Todd Marks, our pole sitter. Like I said, he and Murray Clutchburn have both had good seasons, despite being racers that have been racing forever. Let's see if the two of them can score a win at Georgia, or will some of the new next generation races take them? I think we should talk about what happened to the 95 team last race. Throughout the entire season, they have had a pretty bad season against the new next generation racers. Sad for the 7-time champion. They were involved in multiple cautions throughout multiple races. As of last week at Walker Arms, they qualified 14th, 15th in the race, their highest all season. Unfortunately, after a terrible wreck, I think the 95 team might be out for the rest of the season. The pace car's out in the pits. Here we are going to green at Georgia Super Speedway. Todd Marcus will take him into lap 1. The no-star racer from Dieselton, Alabama has a slim lead against the 67 of Jim Wevick. As the races thunder into lap 2, the races start sliding all over the place. Bubba Willis and Jim Wevick are battling for second. Todd Marks will take him into lap 2. It's 3 wide behind the leaders, with Murray Clutchburn, Cam Spinner, and Conrad Camber, last week's winner. It's back we go back to 2 wide. Todd Marcus still has a good lead, but Wheelhouse is not going to make it easy for him. Neither will Cam Spinner. Both of them are still looking for a win this season. Here we have Murray Clutchburn, who starts second. He's fallen to maybe 6th, 7th, or 8th. So far, positions have not changed often. As here we are into lap 3. The gap should be noted about our 2 leaders, Todd Marks and Bubba Wheelhouse. Can Jim Wevick and Murray Clutchburn close it? Todd Marcus goes to the outside lane. The outside lane as they enter lap 4. It's a battle for first. Bubba Wheelhouse or Todd Marcus. And it seems like the number 6 has taken the lead for the first time this race. Here in the middle of pack, Connor Campbell running alongside Will Russ and Dan Garcia. For these next gens, they're pretty advanced. For example, Bo Wheelhouse, who is running second this race, is an SA3 racer. These SA racers have a 5.5 liter twin turbocharged flat plane V8 engine with 750 horsepower, making them extremely formidable forces on the track. Their horsepower gives them a pretty neat sound when they go thundering down the track. As for some of the other racers, like Ed Trunken, he is a SSB9 racer, with their horsepower also being at 750. As we can see, these next gen races are pretty advanced and pretty fast. Let's go back to the lead. Seems like Bubba Wheelhouse has fallen down pretty far. Jim Revick is now chasing down Todd Marcus. Both of them have a small lead over Murray Clutchburn. And Murray Clutchburn has a good lead over Will Russ and Ed Chunkin. Overhead shot. We are now in the back stretch of lap 9. Todd Marcus has led the most laps of this race, leading for about like 7 of the 9 laps, maybe 8 or 6. Here we are into the backstretch of lap 10. So far so good for the No Stall team. Nevertheless, they will need the pit eventually. And then we enter turn 4, and as we exit turn 4, Jim Revick has now taken the lead for the first time this race and will lead him down into lap 11. Here we are into the backstretch. Todd Marks is still trying to catch up. Ed Chunkin might give him a small little boost. Both he and Jim are running neck and neck. Here we are into lap 12. Jim Revick is still leading by only by a few seconds, or maybe by a few thousandths of a second. And Todd Marcus on the outside lane has taken over his lead and will take him down into lap 13. The number 6 has fallen all the way down to 10th. It seems like our 6 leaders, Todd Marcus, Jim Revick, Ed Chunkin, Murray Clutchburn, Will Rush, and Cam Spinner, have a good lead over the other racers. Here we are as we enter lap 14. We are a little over halfway done with this race. Here we have Cruz Mias running on Wheelhouse. Both of these two had a bit of a fierce battle for second back at the Mosby of the South. We are running alongside. Kuzumir is getting passed by Steve Slicker Page. Trunkfest's newest racer. As we're still going down, the pack seems to get separated a lot. Right alongside, Cruz Ramirez tries to pass Richie Gunsit on the inside lane, but Richie Gunsit closes the door on. Tries to close the door on him. It's unsuccessful. Nevertheless, he still is ahead of Ramirez. As we also see, Aaron Clocker is drafting behind Ramirez. Can he pass her? Here we are on the high sideline. We have Todd Marcus, who has a good lead. Jim Levick has fallen way down to 5th. Chris Wellman has moved up in the pack as well. Murray Clutchman fell even further. And the No-Saw team might have a good chance at winning today, as we are on lap 17. We have less than 9 laps to go. As the races come down to the pit, Will Rush will take him for the lead. This may cost us, the No-Saw team, some positions drastically. Here we have an image of just outside pit lane entering turn 1. As you can see, a few of the races are exiting. Dan Garcia and Emphas Fong and Cam Spinner have gone early. Behind them we can see second place runner Will Rush. Some positions alongside with Chris, Jim, and Murray respectively. Will Rush seems to get out of the pit surprisingly fast. That's what Vinyl 2. I guess that's a positive for the Vinyl 2Pay team. Here we have more races exiting the pit. As you can see, all the races getting ready for the backstretch. Will Rush has a good lead. Todd Marcus is way behind. It's gonna take him a second to catch back up to them. Here we are going into lap 20. Todd Marcus is now running in 3rd place behind Dan Garcia and Will Rush. But then again, Will Rush has an extremely good lead ahead of Dan Garcia. Can number 1, 2, 3 actually get a win? Or will Vinyl 2Pay finally get Will Rush as a winner for their team? Here we are going into lap 21. The lead has been closed a lot. Dan Garcia is now drafting behind Will Rush. He tries going to the outside lane. Todd Marks is going to the high outside lane. And Fast Fong also tries to pass him down for the inside lane. And he does. The team only has a few laps to go. Here we have our top 5 and our top 3. Our top 3 all running along behind each other, with Ed Chunkin and Steve Slipper Page also joining the train. We'd also see here from Jim Revick. He has fallen down multiple positions. Here we enter lap 23. Todd Marks is still running in 3rd place with only 4 laps to go. I guess the option of pitting wasn't really the best choice. Here we have only 3 laps to go as we enter lap 24. Dan Garcia and Todd Marks are still trying to make a good pass, but it might be no use. Will Rush has is trying to distance the lead behind him and Todd. Here we enter lap 25. I think we might know who our winner is. Unless due to maybe a blowout, or who knows, maybe Dan Garcia and Todd Marcus. Todd Marcus has fallen from third down to like, he fell down a lot of positions. It's now either Will Rush or Dan Garcia. The No Star team have lost maybe their only chance this season to win a race. And here we are with the white flag. And as our next gen racers enter turn 1, Will Rush is still leading. Dan Garcia is trying to catch up to him. The racers enter the back stretch. It's gonna be intense. As the racers exit turn 3 into turn 4, Will Rush. Dan Garcia closes to the gap, but it's no use. Will Rush will win at Georgia Speedway. Dan Garcia second, Ed Schunker third, Steve Slick Page fourth, and M Fast Fong fifth. Jim Ruffick will finish 6th, Todd Marks will finish 7th, Rem Mika will finish 8th, Gene McPillar 9th, and Jackson Stillman 10th. That will be our top 10 for the day. The racers go into the pit. The final 2 paid teams looks extremely happy today with a win. This will definitely rack them up some points, which they definitely needed. Fortunately for the Carbon Cyber and No Salt team, their chances at a win was lost. Next race will be at the Data Shift Raceway.